Welcome to Pouse around the house. Today we're looking at part 22 in my series of loft conversion videos. We're going to be fitting the clay capped ridge tiles to the roof, and I'll try to show you some of the methods that I used along the way. So all my materials have arrived this morning. I've got 3 bags of cement over there. I've already got a big bag of sand out on the driveway, and I've got all my clay ridge tiles by there. So now all we've got to do is just get them up on the roof. Right, now before I set the ridge tiles and put the mortar on the roof, I want to avoid the mortar slipping down the shiny slates. So what I'm doing is making a little guide out of batten. I'll show you how it works in a minute, but I've just lined up the width of my ridge tiles to space my batten. I'm going to put some up the side, a handle across the top so it sits over the ridge tiles, then it means I can throw the cement mortar mix in, it'll stop it slipping down the roof, I can bed the tiles in, and when I move it away, hopefully the cement's in place and I can point it up.
Longest stare, shake down, checking for injuries, no need to panic cause I'm almost there.
So now you can see I've got 2 battens either side secured by this. This is high enough that it clears the ridge, so when I place these onto the roof and bed a bit of mortar in here, it's not going to slide down the side, it's going to get trapped by the batten. So these are the ridge tiles I'm using, the Marley Eternit. I've gone for the plain clay colour because I prefer that, a bit more traditional. I think it's more in keeping with the house. Now if you look by there, on these tiles they actually come with like a pre-drill hole, but it's actually not fully drilled. If you look inside, it's got that bit by there. And what you have to do is just pop a masonry drill bit through that if you want to use it. Now obviously I'm going to do mechanical fixings, so I do want to use it. So each tile that I take up on the roof, I'm just going to pop a masonry drill bit through there, create the hole, that way I can get a stainless steel screw through it. And as for my fixing, I'm using an A2 classified stainless steel screw. I just bought these from Screwfix. I'm just going to put that through and just use the head of the screw. I'm just going to do it up loosely, you don't want to do it too tight because you'll crack the clay. So if you look here on these tiles, you've got the hole I just showed you. Then the cap of the next tile sits over the top. So if I put a screw in there, and I plug the bottom with sealant, so that's going to seal up nicely, and then the cap goes over the top as well. That way range is going to fall off there over the top. Now I'm going to pop up on the roof, rest a few of these ridge tiles in place loosely to try and get my bearings with them. And obviously I've got this second ridge coming out here off this dormer, so I just got to kind of work out at what point I'm going to need to trim one of my ridge tiles. So I've set out a few of the ridge tiles on the roof, and as I thought, it's an awkward bloody joint where I'm going to get the ridge of the dormer meeting the ridge of the main roof. So what I've done is positioned it so that one ridge tile is actually bang on central with the other ridge of the dormer coming in the T. So that way I can nip a little triangle out to the side of it. If I carried on setting it from the wall as whole ridge tiles, by the time I would have got there I would have been cutting a bit out of the joint where they overlap, and I don't want to do that because it wouldn't look very neat and it'd be really hard to join up over the lead on the lead valley. So anyway, if you look over there, I've just marked out a little triangle. I'm going to go a bit too small to start with and just chip away at it, make it bigger until it sits perfectly. I don't want too big a gap there because I'll have to butt up with the other one after, so I don't want any gaps where the water's coming through. So I'll get on with that now and we'll see how it fits. You notice what I've also been doing that is cutting it rather than at 90 degrees to the edge there. I'm cutting it flat and slicing inwards, because obviously if you look at it straight on then it's going to fit. If you did it at 90 degrees to the slate of this, the inside is going to be lower than the outside, so you have to kind of cut into it. So let's go and give this one a go. So I've managed to get the ridge tile to fit, and I'll show you that in a minute, but firstly I'm just going to quickly show you how I drill through these pilot holes. It's as simple as this. Where your hole is, it's only a very thin bit of clay that's formed in there. So just get your masonry drill bit. There we go, so that's simple. I just punched it straight through. So you can see here I've just done my dry run of ridge tiles. Now you can see the importance of this bit here. I needed that in the centre of that ridge tile so that I could get another one to butt up to this along this section here. Now in doing that, it obviously means that by the time you go over to the wall it leaves an offcut, so we've got to cut the ridge tile down to size over there. So I'm just going to get the measuring tape now, measure what piece I need in that gap there, we'll cut that to size. So now I'm going to mix the mortar to fix the ridge tiles in place, and I'm going to do a mix of 1 part sharp sand to 2 part builder's sand to 1 part cement, and I'm going to add a little bit of mortar plasticizer. So I put my sharp sand and builder's sand in there together. I'm just going to mix that about first, then I'm going to add a bit of cement, then a bit of water, then a bit of the plasticizer. And now I've just added some cement to the mix. So when I say about these ratios, obviously once you've got the ratio, you can multiply that to have bigger amounts. So 1 sharp sand, 2 builder sand, 1 cement. I've done 2 sharp sand, 4 builder sand, 2 cement. So if you look, I've just added half the mix to another bucket just to make it easier to mix. I'll probably mix up the mortar in one, go and use it, see where I am, and if I'm going to use the rest, I'll do that by adding a bit more water, get up and finish that one off. And just to drop the mortar plasticizer. So we're up on a roof here, we're looking out towards the end of the house. I've just put my temporary guide on there, and that guide is not so much for alignment, but it's more just to stop my cement falling down when I put it in. We'll see if it actually works now. If you look over there, obviously I was doing my cuts up that end earlier. Like I said, that was just to get the measurement of these end slates and the cut on this one, so all the alignment's right. So what I'm going to have to do now is work my way from the other end. So coming back over here, I'm going to start at that end now, and that allows me to put the screw in, then put the next one on top, and so on. And we can get down here quite quickly. And when I get close to these ridge tiles back down here, on this bit around here, then obviously I'm going to stop and I'll have to do another cut somewhere so that we get a shorter piece that fills in the gap around here. And I'm going to take one of my A2 stainless steel screws, I'm going to screw that down into the ridge board through that hole. What I'm doing here is using some lead sheet sealant, which is the stuff I used on my lead flashing, and I'm just going to apply a bead of this to the inside of that there where the other ridge tile butts up to it.
Blacked out, looking for sympathy. You're always looking, but there's none in there. 4 shots and a head full of chemicals. I'm catching up on you, I'm catching up now. You mess with my head a bit. Coming to terms with it. Hard for me. The sneaky's got the longest stare. 4 stars, but you be the death of me. I'm creeping up on you, I'm creeping up now. You're messing with violence. So here come the violins.
This is what I was talking about earlier. By working out the measurements of the cut from that side to get it to there, so I make sure that this joint is a nice neat one in the middle of the ridge tile, it leaves you with this offcut. So what I'll do, I'd like to have a solid one there next to this ridge, just to make sure it's got a bit of weight, and then I'll put the shortcut there. Whee! That was a close one. So I just gave that a quick wash down. You saw me just slide down the roof. Poor planning that really, isn't it? Wetting the roof and then having to come down it like an aqua slide. And you can see it there from this side. And now on this side you can see that Pouse has finished off the lead apron across the bottom. Fair play to him, he didn't have to do it, but he's put the join of the 2 pieces of lead right down the middle, make it nice, and a bit like he did along this side, done a nice little curve in the end just to finish it off really. So there we go, that's it for today. I'll be back in the morning. So if you're enjoying this video so far and you're new to my channel, you can watch my other loft conversion videos where I do things like building the wall, fitting the joists, constructing the dormers, and so on. If you want to see those videos, you can click on the links in the description section below, and there'll be links that pop up on the screen throughout this video. So it's another day, we're back on the roof. It got dark yesterday, you saw me cleaning up. So I've cut this one to size and then we're going to fit it in place. See if it fits, which it does.
Four lies and she makes it hard for me. The sneaky sneaky's got the longest stare. 4 stars, but you be the death of me. I'm creeping up on you, I'm creeping up now. You're messing with violence. So here come the violins.
Right, so again I've done a dry run and it was well worth it. Unfortunately, when you get to the end, over here, where it meets the other ridge, it's going to be about 1 inch too short basically by the time I get that in, which is a real shame. There's nothing else I can do about it. I can't pull the ridge tiles back from the end of the roof, so what I'm going to do is go out now. I'm basically going to trim the back off this one until it fits, and that's going to reduce this one by a few inches, and then I'll just have to, somewhere in the middle, cut another one down to size so it fits in with the rest. So this is just a bit of trial and error. I'm just going to use another ridge tile to try and do my marking on the other one that I need to cut. We'll cut it down, see if it fits. If it doesn't, we'll come back and trim a bit more off. The cost of these, I'm not going to try making any mistakes.
Food delivery.
It's about time I got my slave here bringing me some food. It's the first tidy thing he's done all day.
You are, sir.
And you know what we got here, don't you? We've got Charlie Shooter's Know-How.
Here we are. I brought you some food, boss.
Very good YouTube channel. Go and take a look. Charlie Shooter's Know-How.
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah.
Very useful little channel, especially if you like a Nest thermostat.
Hard for me. The sneaky sneaky's got the longest stare. 4 stars, but you be the death of me. I'm creeping up on you, I'm creeping up now. You're messing with violence. So here come the violins.
Typical last ridge tile and the sealant runs out, and there's all I need is one more bead. Okay, I'm back with a new tube of sealant.
She came in late and tried to hide. She came in late and tried to hide.
Right, so if we have a look there, you can see all the ridge tiles are in place, all the way to the end. You saw me earlier pointing into that little diagonal gap where the 2 ridges meet, so that's all pointed up. Each ridge tile is sealanted together. I've used a stainless A2 grade screw through all the holes, then into the ridge board, so that's holding the back of each ridge in place. They're all bedded on the mortar. Like I said before, that's a 1 sharp sand to 2 builder's sand to 1 cement mix. A bit stiffer than your usual sort of building mix, but that's what's recommended for ridge tiles. And then you look at the end, I'm going to do those in a minute. The end of these ridges here and here, you can see they're open. If we go up here and take a quick look, if you look in the end of the ridge here, you've got this open. Now I'm going to fill that with mortar. Now, what I decided to do, just to stop the mortar falling through this little gap between the join and the slate, I'm just going to get a little bit of slate like this. It's just a little slip of slate. Apologies for the poor footage. I'm hanging on one hand here on a step ladder. If you look behind me, I could fall straight over the scaffolding, so not a clever idea. If you look there, I'm just going to bed that into place with the mortar, and then I can fill this gap, and that's going to stop it falling through there. So that's my idea. If anyone else has got any better suggestions, let me know. Then, because I've just slightly overhung this off the end of the house, we can just take the mortar right up just inside, so we'll have a little lip, a little overhang for the rain, but without looking too stupid. You see some ridges where it overhangs too much, and I just don't like the look of it, but there we are. And there, if you look at it from the side, you can see, maybe you can't, it's about 4mm overhang on the end, so it just ever so slightly overhangs. I can fill it with mortar. The slates are all overhanging anyway, the fascia, so the water's going to run off nicely over the end without backtracking. And this is the other side of the roof, right the way into the chimney, so looking good. roof is a little bit of a mess at the moment. We've had a bit of rain and I washed it off last night. We've got a bit of residue over the slates, but if you actually rub your hand on it, I'll show you now on this stuff here, it just comes straight off. So what we really need is a good downpour once this has all gone off, and it should give the roof a clean again. There we go, that's all finished. I've given the roof a wash down. The only thing I did find with the cement up there is, to be honest, it was so much to fill in there, it was slumping a tiny bit, so what I've done is smoothed it off. There's a little tiny gap in the top and the ridge. What I'll do tomorrow is, when I'm back out here doing the ridge tiles on these hips, I mix a bit of mortar, I'll go up and just finish that off up in the top, just to seal the gap up there, but it's all looking good now. So that's it for today's video, and as always, if you enjoyed the video then please give it a like. If you're new to my channel then please subscribe and press the bell symbol if you want regular notifications of my video uploads. So for more DIY, how-to, household tips and product review, please watch my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. I've been Pouse around the house. Ta-ta, farewell.